Situations like these abound on daily basis, those leaving stakeholders with plenty of worries.
We need not to avoid the aspect of violence, rather we have to face it the way it is. And one of the ways of facing the violence is, first of all, to recognize that it exists, and also to identify the causes of this violence. And from the causes now, we are going to look at the mitigation strategies.
It's just for us now to put the club together and strengthen the club and sensitize the students on the negative aspects of drugs and attacks in schools.
Hosted by Peace Home Academic Complex, the venue and choice of theme complements the commemoration of education against attacks.
I think the president or the coordinator of African Youth Cooperation for Peace and Development must have nosed around and discovered that there is a school that meets the theme or meets the name African Youth for Peace and Development, Cooperation for Youth for Peace and Development, because Peace Home is also not a coincidence. The name Peace is not a coincidence. It is a name that is built on the notion of peace. The peace that we talk about here in Peace Home, it may go beyond the physical peace that we talk about. It's the peace of God that we are talking about here, because God is the foundation of peace.
The situation is terrible. It's terrible in Cameroon. It's terrible everywhere on earth. We are just trying to stand the gap for our nation, Cameroon. And as we speak right now, from the report we did, we had findings that, if I start explaining to you, that in fact are horrible. So we are coming as a non-for-profit, non-governmental organization called African Youth Cooperation for Peace and Development, AYCPD, to accompany the UNESCO, United Nations, and Cameroon government to make sure that we stand, we sensitize and combat this come home together. We intend to do this not only in this particular day, to carry it as long as possible, over 10 years plan. The club, also by the way, is by name Safe Campus and Peace Club. This club will be put in place to make sure that we bring students together, we create activities in the club that were outstanding, that were unique in its own way, to promote peace, to promote integrity, and to combat all forms of moral decadence, all forms of violence and drug abuse within our academic environment.
With the campaign taken to the heart of the classroom is telling of a need for combined efforts.
We actually noticed that most of these students are influenced firstly by peers. Most of them follow friends that are actually drug addicts and cause them to be influenced by these particular friends that consume drugs and that are actually violent. And also, we also notice that it's a society. The society in where we live also influence these students to consume drugs and actually be violent in their school milieu.
I'm going to advise my friends and my neighborhood not to stop working with bad friends and dress decently.
We are the leaders of tomorrow, so we should know these things so that we can lead those behind us, our junior brothers and sisters, to do the right thing in future so we can have a better nation, a better Cameroon.
We should raise children in the way that they would grow and not depart. And just as the Bible also says, it says that when the foundations are bad, what can the righteous do? So if we can tackle this situation from the foundation, that is by raising children up in the fear of God and by the leadership of the Holy Spirit, then we'll be able to tackle these attacks in the school milieu.
With educational stakeholders deeply implicated, strategies to curb violence is on the way.
Is that we do a lot of moral education. We talk to these children. We encourage them. We talk with them. You know, if you want to brutalize, if you want to be hard on them, they would jump out of the school campus. They get under the bridges and so on, and the very person you send them away they will wait for you under the bridge and the roadside to harm you. So what we do is that even when we catch children in this, doing some of these things, we don't dismiss here. We don't dismiss children anyhow here, especially when the children are delinquent. We don't dismiss them. We keep them within the system and we work on them. We sensitize them and we clean them. We reset their minds. Because if you, the parent, sends a child to you because he or she has not got the methods to be able to handle this child, you as a professional, if you send the child out of school, it means you are planting a seed in society that even you yourself, you will harvest.
The campaign has thus been launched for each student to embrace the project Safe Campus and peace clubs to eradicate violence within the school milieu.